Welcome to Deep Cuff Channel. Ukrainian Air Force took action against the Russian army. Russian troops began to flee when they saw Ukrainian warplanes flying through the air. Russian losses reached record levels. Vladimir Putin is very angry with his soldiers. F-16 warplanes could enter the war against Russia at any time. Ukraine's drone inventory continues to expand. Tension in the Bakhmut and Solder districts reached its peak. Poland is starting to take more responsibility in the war. China has broken its long-standing silence. According to the latest reports from the Ukrainian Interior Ministry, Ukrainian Air Force warplanes carried out a total of 22 air strikes against Russian forces in the last 24 hours. It is stated that the attacks of the Ukrainian army are concentrated in the Kramatorsk and Huliopol regions. In addition to Russian anti-aircraft systems, command centers and ammunition depots were also targeted in the attacks. While the attacks in these areas continued, the Ukrainian missile and artillery units began to increase their attacks on Russian targets in the Bakhmut area. Videos appearing on social media show that Ukrainian missile and artillery units destroyed Russian command centers and ammunition depots in these regions. Making a statement on the subject, the Ukrainian Artillery Brigade said, "We successfully carried out all the shots we planned." As a result of these attacks carried out by the Ukrainian army, it was reported that Russia lost 860 soldiers, 1 tank, 15 armored combat vehicles, 6 artillery systems, 1 multi-barrel rocket launcher system, and 5 tactical unmanned aerial vehicles. After these attacks, it was reported that Russian President Vladimir Putin became very angry with his army and ordered an immediate attack. Acting on Putin's instruction, the Russian army carried out 27 missile attacks in the Bilopolska and Esmanska regions. According to Ukrainian sources, air defense systems managed to prevent all these Russian attacks. None of the Russian missiles reached their target. Making a statement right after this attack, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported that the Russian army attempted to attack Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Allegedly, the Ukrainian army carried out 7 missile attacks and 15 air strikes in the Donbass region. In addition, Russia attempted a total of 68 attacks using multiple launch rocket systems. While the vast majority of these attacks were blocked by Ukrainian air defense forces, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky congratulated his troops. After these Russian attacks, the need for warplanes of the Ukrainian army came to the fore again. Since the beginning of the war, the Ukrainian military has stated that it wants a large number of fighter jets with Soviet technology. Strengthening the Ukrainian Air Force is of great importance for the victory of the war. Now Ukrainian pilots report that international support for Ukraine is broad, but modern Western warplanes will also play a critical role in winning the war. Only obstacle for Western states in this regard for now is the training that Ukrainian pilots must take to fly Western warplanes. All warplanes such as the F-16, F-15, A-10 or Jas-39 Gripen, which are said to be delivered to the Ukrainian army, are integrated with Western weapons technology. Biggest obstacle in this situation is that all the systems used by the Ukrainian army are Soviet-based. However, it seems likely that the first step to be taken in this regard will come from the Netherlands. According to local media reports, the Dutch government may consider supplying F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine at Kiev's request. In fact, this is the first official statement on the possibility of supplying Western warplanes to Ukraine and shows that NATO is ready for a very serious escalation. Making a statement on the subject, Dutch Foreign Minister Wop Hoekstra said the country's government would openly consider such a request, as there is no ban on the supply of such warplanes to Ukraine. At the same time, the head of the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs emphasized that Kiev has so far not made any requests for the supply of these warplanes. This may be an indication that the Ukrainian side may demand such weapons in the near future, especially after the Netherlands declared its readiness to cooperate with Ukraine. If F-16 warplanes are sent to Ukraine, It could create a serious force multiplier against the Russian army. Since Russia knows this, it is trying to prevent this situation with its diplomatic contacts on a global scale. However, a decision taken by Western countries can completely change all the balances. Until these decisions are taken, the Ukrainian army aims to seize air dominance in the region by using the possibilities at the maximum level. In the latest videos from the region, we see that the Ukrainian army has transported the launchers, which are important for the launch of the Tu-141 unmanned aerial vehicles, to various regions. We see that the Ukrainian army has deployed these systems in large numbers, especially in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Fact that the Ukrainian armed forces transfers such launchers in the middle of the day shows that the Ukrainian army is not afraid of a possible pursuit and destruction by the Russian army. Considering the transfer route of such ramps towards the Kharkiv region, the fact that the video footage was taken a few days ago may be evidence that the armed forces of Ukraine may be preparing a new offensive. Although the Tu-141 systems have old generation technology, we see that the Ukrainian army has been using these systems frequently recently. This could mean that Ukrainian engineers made several modernizations to this system. Immediately after these news, the Independent War Research Institute reported that the Russian army has deployed air defense systems in various regions in the capital Moscow. These claims were also confirmed by videos and photos appearing on social media. This news is a sign that the Russian army is preparing for a longer war with Ukraine. It is alleged that Russia is also afraid of the power of the air force that the Ukrainian army will have. Immediately after these news, signs began to appear that the Ukrainian army was also preparing for a larger war. Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov said that although the decision to supply German-made tanks to Ukraine has not yet been taken, the Ukrainian armed forces will train troops to use Leopard 2 battle tanks in Poland. Alexei Reznikov described the development as a breakthrough. Main idea of this news is that it has not been announced that the Leopard 2 tanks will be officially sent to Ukraine. However, we can say that the transfer of these tanks to Ukraine, whether secret or not, has been finalized. Leopard 2 will offer Ukraine more firepower, greater mobility, and better protection against enemy fire, supported by more modern countermeasures that Ukraine relied heavily on in Soviet-era tanks. Immediately after this news, new news started to come from China, which had been silent for a long time about the war in Ukraine. China, which did not make a statement about the war for a long time and did not take any decisions, decided to increase its investments in its army. This led to claims by many military analysts that China could help Russia. We'll see what happens in the coming days. Victory to Ukraine. We will continue to monitor the world and especially Ukraine. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.